Hi everyone and welcome back to another Bork No Game video. Today's video is dedicated to this week's bans for PvP, the ups, the downs, all the things, and just a little bit of PvP showcasing with my mech team. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. This week's ban is very interesting because Gaiun is going to be our first ban 3 unit. So that means her cost is now 6, and note that, whenever a character is banned, they can't get the leader bonus, which is just energy costs and deployment resources, all that stuff. And Evelyn Keller actually jumped up to ban 2. She was never even upped, she wasn't banned or anything. So this means that Evelyn Keller had a pretty high win to pick ratio. Jalen is also at ban 1 versus the ban 2. Same thing with Chufuyu Nanahara, so both of these two got downgraded. Now when it comes to Hayami Sanai, now it was really interesting because she was actually an up unit last week. So her being banned this week, so it goes against a couple of rules that we've talked about it before. But what's interesting is that she's going to be much harder to use this time. Not to mention Jalen is also going to be banned. So these two being banned makes strikers a much more healthy choice to see. So Esterosa might be seeing a lot more play. Chifuyu Nanahara right here, she's probably gonna see some play because even at ban 4 she's still not the worst. There's other 4 cost units. What's interesting is Mia is actually going to be a rate up, so she could be a possible sniper that you could use. I personally don't have a copy of her and I think she's an awesome character. Same thing with Reaper, I haven't picked up a copy of him. And then for the folks who've been using Stronghold, he's going to be an amazing pick for this week. And note that these characters, they also get increased stats. Their skill haste is pretty much activated as well, so they're just going to be extremely viable. Let's go ahead and look at what some of the top players are doing. Now they are going to be using Yumi Lee and Stronghold, which makes a lot of sense. Kang So-young is here, of course Kyle is back into the rotation, and of course Yang Harim and Elizabeth, so this sort of makes sense. Sylvia being here, that's a bit surprising, but it also makes sense because her stun is absolutely nutty. Ryan Farrier, Hayami Sanai being here is very interesting. She is still technically an efficient sniper compared to Zhao Lin, because even though at 4 cost, still not too much compared to Zhao Lin, who's at 5 cost right now. So this team makes sense as well. Look at Void Corp and Milk representing Infinite Warsong, the only one right there. Let's go ahead and look at Frag Farmer. I like this team a lot because they are using Mia. I think that's very interesting and there's more diversity in this team. But of course Kyle and Yang Harim, they're back, they're showcasing what they got. So let's go ahead and jump into some PvP. So this is the team that we're going to be running right here. I think I might have to switch out my mech teams, but honestly it's kind of hard to go to other teams. Oh, this is going to be a Rhino team. That's going to be very, very interesting. Let's see how this turns out. All right, so since this one is going to be Rhino, we're just going to go ahead and place that right there. Then we're going to be doing this right here. Now, this is definitely going to be a very weird fight, in my opinion, because I haven't fought anything like this in a while. At least not like a Rhino. The thing is, Rhino isn't that viable currently in the game, only because of the fact that we don't have the units to properly support him. I know in the future we'll have the appropriate units who can do all the different things, keep Rhino alive. We'll have pretty much enough HP and regeneration. Right now, in the current meta, it's not the greatest, but we'll see, because Rhino is definitely a huge threat still in KR, and I like how they're running Lumi as well. And what's going to be really interesting is that since they're running Rhino and Lumi, I have to protect my back line, right? So I can't really sleep on it. They're probably going to run Lumi or Rhino right here, but let's go ahead and see. I just didn't think I would actually see someone attempt the Rhino comp, and I would have liked it if they actually would run the mech based team, and just because Rhino gets a little bit more regeneration. I want to build it myself, but I just don't have the resources as well. And hopefully in the future we can actually enable a Rhino comp, because I just think it's the funniest cheesiest comp ever, where you just rush straight for the tower at the end. So that was an interesting match right there. Let's go ahead and jump into a bit more. Honestly, seeing Hayami Sanai still being present and seeing Kyle pretty much jump back in here, but I think Kyle is gonna jump up to ban 2. I don't think he's gonna jump up to ban 2, mostly because Kyle has a very there's so many people that use Kyle that his win ratio is never good enough to push him over. I'm curious, what is the win ratio required in order for a character to actually go from ban 0 to ban 2? For me, I feel since there's so many players who use Kyle, there should only honestly be like a 60 to 75% win ratio with him versus like, you know, other characters who just don't have like that presence. I don't think like making Titan my leader is honestly a thing anymore. His high energy cost doesn't make sense. Look at all these level 100s. I am not going to be able to take this down. I don't think so. But let's go ahead and try to do some things right here. Drop Tank Chan, and yeah, I'm not very hopeful with this outcome. We're probably gonna get crushed here. You can see here Chifu, Nanahara with everything. Yeah, I don't think this was the play, mostly because I didn't really have like the units to support like against a level 100. Not to mention Lake Superior was also banned this week, so it's very interesting to see that some of the SSR ships are gonna get banned. I don't think Kami-Izumi is going to be banned because Lake Superior is just like the popular like choice because it's like the most meta one, and for now we'll see like how everything goes. When it comes to ships, I don't feel like there's too much to worry about. Now I think I am going to be putting her as my leader, Lee Yumi, or maybe I should put Tank Chan. I think Tank Chan isn't a good idea, or how might I put Buzzer? No, we'll put Lee Yumi just because Titan he's a fantastic character, but I don't think mech meta is like in this week, mostly because Hao Wang, Yang Harim, and everyone is back on the playing field. So I feel like maybe I should be running like my different like set of units. Ooh, this is an evasion ship, so this is going to be very interesting right here to see what is actually going to be occurring with this team, because the fact that they're running an evasion set because they're, you know, they have like more strikers and everything. So let's go ahead and put our Titan right here front and center. Then all right, this is very different from what I thought the fight was going to turn out to be. Titan is hanging in there quite well, and then let's go ahead and place Tank Chan. Doing pretty well, like holding our ground right here. So long as we can win this exchange, I feel like we're going to be okay. Go ahead and put Lee Yumi back on the field. Then we'll probably put in Buzzard. As long as like everyone can stay alive, Titan can stay alive, we are in it for the long haul. I just like how people are running like different like sort of like metas and everything, because the more variations there are, the more experimentation. I feel like that's the fun parts to like PvP and how we participate in counterside, because in PvE things are, you know, more straightforward. There's not as much creativity that you can put in here, but someone running like an invasion comp like this, running all these different teams like mech meta, soldier meta, which I'm also currently figuring out, but soldier meta does not work this week, mostly because I don't have like the appropriate units who can capitalize on Eddie Fisher's like attack buffs and everything. But we'll see like how it goes as like the future banners are going to be occurring, and the future banner right now that is set is scheduled for Rosaria, so we'll see like how that goes, because I'm not sure if I'm really going to be pulling on that banner. I'm not really a huge fan of her. I know a lot of people will want her. The thing is, like with these meta counter units and like the ones that are really great, Hao Wang and Yang Harim, they're going to get banned very easily just because they're naturally going to have like higher win pick ratios. So when it comes to like, oh, I have like the meta character or what have you, it's going to be very difficult to decide whether you should be just like using them, because 9 times out of 10 they're just going to end up getting banned. I know like that's a really silly thing to hear. It's like, oh, the meta units get banned all the time, but at the same time it makes sense. That's how you balance like PvP and everything. Let's go ahead and drop a little bit of this, so we got like double tank action going on. I actually want to drop my Titan in the back, or like right here in the front, so we can do a little bit more damage. Obviously this is going to be a tough squeeze right here, but let's go ahead and try this. So long as everyone is staying alive, Titan and the 2. All right, that was a pretty huge laser shot right there, but Yang Harim's still hanging in there. That's pretty good to see. And so long as Titan and Tank Chan are still in the front and center, all right, they're definitely pushing us back. I think Titan just exploded. This is not a good sign for us. We're probably gonna get pushed back. I think it's mostly because we cannot take down that Zhao Lin in the back right there, and so long as she's pretty much sitting pretty, we will not have an easy time. But let's go ahead and cast Ironside right here. They're doing work on us. There is a bit of lag today. That's very interesting. We are probably down for the count right here. I'll see us getting up from that one, but really cool to see that the meta like is changing this week. I'll be figuring out my teams whether I want to run like mech meta or not, but I'm really interested on what people's take is down in the comments. What do you think you should be running this week? I don't think soldier with like Kang So Young is still viable yet, and I know like Stronghold is an up unit, so he might be more viable. Soldier units, we just require a couple more things. Counter is definitely in the season, and mech units are going to have a hard time since Sylvia isn't up. Now Reaper is here, but I haven't really pulled a copy of that character. Anyways, if you you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Also at 22,000 fire subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.